welcome to another episode of the Yellowjackets recaps on my YouTube channel. This week's episode is episode 8 of season 3, and it is a pretty good episode all in all. That's basically some of my review. The recap, so this episode deals with the advent of the last one, where obviously they had Hannah tied up, the one of the frog orgy researchers, and Cody, the other one played by Joel McHale, was being led by gunpoint to where he was leading Travis and Keela to rescue point, which turns out to be 6 days walk away, which is fucking weird that you would walk 6 days to guide people watching a bunch of frogs fuck each other, but okay, whatever. I mean, say what you can do. I don't. Here's the thing. I actually really like plot lines like they stumble across people and researchers, and I really like that. I just think this show's kind of, it's neat to not embrace. I mean, it heavily suggests, and I'm pretty sure it is supernatural at this point, but they also want to hedge their bets a bit, so they don't have like a research. It's not like Lost with like the freighter crew who came and were exploring, but knew something weird was going on. These guys just like, hey, we're just researching frogs. But it feels like, I mean, there's hints in this episode that they're going to possibly tease there's something more insidious going on with them. But it just, I don't know, it feels a bit flat that they're there for really generic, like, not even generic, stupidly specific reason. There's nothing to anything that's going on. Like, I mean, unless they're lying about that, but it doesn't seem like they are. I don't know. It's a cool plot idea. I'm pretty sure it's introduced some tension. I think a bit like rest of the season, it's not. It doesn't feel particularly fleshed out brilliantly. Fleshed out, when they're going to get fucking eaten. But I do like the vibe and do like the way it shifted dynamics in camp between those who want to be rescued and those who don't, because that's a really cool idea. Now, again, they're like, hey, no, we're not doing this. And so like, no, you should. You have some. It would actually be really cool if only some of them got rescued and then some got rescued later. That'd be a really cool thing. It'd give us a bit more variety. It'd give characters a bit more to work with. And then they're like, no, fuck that. It's that thing where like they did the other week with Ben's trial, and then they did like 3 cliffhangers back to back. This one does too, where it's all like, oh shit, they're going to split and cruise the camp up. That's cool. That's intriguing. And it's all like, no, we're not. And it's all like, oh, well, yeah, there you go. I think. I also think the way they introduced Melissa back into it, don't get wrong, really cool. Hilary Swank, really good actress. But it feels like they didn't. I know they mentioned Melissa's dead in a previous episode, but it would almost be better if they re-hammered that home a bit more. Because it's meant to be a twist, but it's all like, okay, like, great, cool. It doesn't feel like they beat up the alternative. They enough so that this really resonates as a big twist, but we get really good stuff with Hilary Swank and Melissa Linsky in this episode. Right, really good stuff. But then the downside is that you get flashbacks and Melissa's suddenly like, yeah, I don't love you anymore, and it's just because of where the present day stuff is going. And it's like, oh, okay, like you beat that quite a bit, and now you're going against it. But even saying that, like, there's some cool stuff in here, like Akila getting a vision without being high. And the idea that Ty, Shauna, and Lottie are ones that are like, we need to stay. And it's like, oh shit, because they're like, they've been clearly portrayed more as the antagonistic forces on the show. So they're more agreeing they need to stay, and something's wrong with these two researchers, the Hannah researcher and Guy Cody. So, maybe there is actually something off about them. Maybe there's something more to this. Because Cody does seem very matter of fact about this whole thing. And sort of like, maybe there is something more to it. I hope there is. But I do think symbolic when Melissa is talking about the coincidences and tape and saying, oh, there's nothing going on. It's it does strike me as like, is this actually show saying that there's no path to this mystery and that just Sean imagining things? Because that would be shit if that's the case, and would be systemic of the fact that they didn't really have a particularly good plan going forward throughout the season. Because there's been so many things where it's like, oh, that'd be cool, like Callie and Lottie, that could have been a really cool story arc. Didn't nothing happen with it. Ben and going crazy in caves could have been cool story arc. Nothing happened with it. Natalie being in charge could have been cool, but they course correct on that really fucking quickly, so didn't even get a chance to that. And I know people criticise Lost for like dragging things out a bit, but I think sometimes with storylines it does help to have them have enough time to breathe. I mean, like Travis, they spent ages building up Travis and Natalie's bond and how in present day their bond that they always had and all of that, and they've done fuck all with that for years now. These seasons, nothing. Like, they really overbuilt that bond, and now it's just nothing. It's just Travis is in it a bit, I guess. And I think part of the problem is, once, and somebody raised this on Reddit, once the present day versions of characters die, they get less focus. I mean, Natalie's still getting bit, Lottie's still getting bit, but they're not getting as much as like they used to, and it's kind of frustrating because Natalie was meant to be more important and Lottie was too, and it seems like they've sort of gone, oh no, because the present day actors aren't in anymore. And it is frustrating because I think those characters were cool and I really liked Travis and Natalie's dynamic, and they've just fucking completely forgotten it. And they've forgotten a lot of other things. I know they've gone back to Simone's wife and her kid, but they've also just sort of, it seems like anything that is detrimental, it's a bit like Lost with Walt, anything that's detrimental to what they're trying to do or is too difficult, they just sort of go, well, push this to the side. Which does raise that question of, why the fuck is Jeff still such an important character in the show when he is one of the most, it's not the actor's fault, he is so boring and so monotonous, and I don't care about his storylines. And it's like, you ditched Simone's wife, which was actually an interesting storyline for this. Why couldn't you focus on that character and her son, who, like, sees things and, like, that's interesting. Jeff is not fucking interesting. Jeff is shit. And you dump Callie's storyline with Lottie for more of this. It's just like, where's this going? Like, Lottie was going to corrupt Callie, now that's not going anywhere. Oh. Anyway, 3 out of 5. Yeah, okay.